Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews.
Don't make me destroy you.
Okay, so we'll just get right to the point. Tron Ares it's okay, I guess, but when you consider this is the third film in what should be a franchise at this point for Disney, it's not very good at all. In fact, it's awful. It's piss poor. It's a weird sort of soft reboot that nobody actually ever wanted, really. You know, the way that the previous movie, Tron Legacy, which I'm a big advocate for, kind of left off, suggested this interesting path of what happens to a program when it comes into the real world. And to its detriment, this film undoes everything that Tron Legacy did and tries to restart it for some fucking reason or another. I don't know what anybody was thinking when they were making this movie from the top down. If it was a matter of struggling to get actors back for roles that they did in Tron Legacy, then recast them. What is the problem in this day and age with recasting people? If we're looking to do sequels or reboots or something, just recast them. For goodness sake, recast them. But no, instead, we get this baffling, convoluted third film in a franchise that, how can we even consider it a franchise, really? It took 30 odd years for Tron Legacy to come about. Then we had nothing for another 15 years or thereabouts. Forgive me the maths on this one. And all we've had since really is a couple of rides open up in Disney and Disney World for the light cycles, and that's it. We've had nothing else apart from the odd cartoons and whatever. This franchise it's been running on an empty gas tank for years, and it pains me really, because I like this. I like these movies. I like Tron for how goofy it is, but how revolutionary it was. I like Tron Legacy again because of how goofy it is, but how fucking spectacular the CGI was and how revolutionary the score was. Who would have thought that Daft Punk could create a score that had depth, resonance and emotion? I didn't fucking believe they could. I'm not a massive fan of Daft Punk, but I own that soundtrack and I've played it a million fucking times since.
Alrighty then.
So this film is about an evil corporation that's interested in pursuing AI versus a good corporation interested in pursuing AI. We're literally bringing back these corporations from the previous movies, and rather than there being a logical sort of turnover, a handover of power, it's all about family, isn't it? And it's as uninteresting as that, really. You've got Evan Peters being poorly underutilised, just sprouting off Bondian villain sort of dialogue to try and make him sound evil, and it's laughable. I feel sorry for him because he's much better than this piece of shit movie. Gillian Anderson's in there and she's utterly wasted as well, and then you've got the head of the corporation of Encom, and I can't remember her name because again the character is so poorly designed. It's pointless, it's useless, and it's hampered really by just nothing carrying forward from Legacy. Like I said, there's a very brief mention of the previous character from Tron Legacy. He's just been written out because he wanted to go and pursue other things. Alright, great. There's no mention of Cora at all. We don't have anything happens to her. There's a brief sort of mention towards the end of the movie, if you like. It's barely even a mention. It's a fucking half-assed attempt to say, hey, fans, don't worry, we still remember, but they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They've rewritten this for whatever purpose they thought would be a good idea. But like I said, nothing here is a good idea. Jared Leto plays Ares, this eponymous AI who can only survive in the real world for 30 minutes or thereabouts. I think it's 29 minutes.
Why?
And it's just as uninteresting as you can possibly imagine, with the MacGuffin being this program, this device thing or whatever it is that can keep them in the real world indefinitely. I can't remember the name of the device or whatever the fuck it is, because it's laughable, because it's yet another MacGuffin point, whereas we'd already established in Legacy that there was something that could keep Cora in the real world without having her be dematerialized or de-resed as it is. It's painful, the things that this film does to break its own back to make this work, even though we had an interesting idea postulated at the end of Tron Legacy. My word, I'm hesitant to keep bringing Tron Legacy back up, but I can't help it, because that's a much better film than this, and gave us a jumping off point that we completely ignore and redo with this. Compound that with the fact that, sadly, the story in this film is just dreadful. It's poor, it's boring, it's lackluster. And then we have Jared Leto. I honestly don't, forgive me, I honestly don't understand the fascination with him as a leading man. I don't see it. I've never seen it. I don't get it at all. Here, he's so wooden. If he was any more wooden, he would be a fucking garden bench. There's no emotion. You've got this program being thrust into our world, who is being bombarded with information on a physical level, touch, feel, smell, taste, all these things that don't exist on the grid that we know of, and yet there's nothing. There's fucking nothing. There's vague sort of flickers in his eyes. There's nothing else. At the end of Tron Legacy, there is a moment right at the end of the fucking movie. Cora is on the back of Sam's bike as they are driving through the open plain, through the open air, and she doesn't have a helmet on, and she looks around. There's a wonder in her eyes. This is called acting. There's a wonder in her eyes. She smiles and nuzzles in to Sam's back. There is so much emotion and depth in that one single fucking moment versus this entire goddamn friggin' movie. I kid you not. They have no idea how to approach the fundamental existential questions of what it means to be pulled from one world into another. It's the fish out of the water scenario done in reverse. We had Sam going into the grid in Legacy, and we had this pretty much half of the entire movie of him going, what the fuck is this? Here, Ares just comes in and goes, yeah, I'm here, aren't I? Oh, alright then. And then he grates on my cheddar. Like really bad fucking Wensleydale, and oh god, it's dreadful. The only thing really going for this movie is the visuals, but the visuals, we lose the awe-inspiringness of the visuals by the simple fact that we're not in the grid long enough. We bring the grid into the real world, which is what Clue was trying to do in Legacy, and it was interesting. It was like, oh, God, it's bringing a fucking army. What's going to happen? Turns out what happens is that we just have a light show, really. It's not interesting. It's not interesting. How have you created an invasion movie that isn't interesting? I don't get it. I don't get anything in this movie, honestly. It's literally an invasion movie with zero impact at all. There is nothing interesting to take away from this film whatsoever in that regard. Like I said, the visuals are fine. They look interesting in the real world, but they don't have any lasting sort of impact, really, upon anything. And coming away from the visuals, the only other thing that sort of enhances this movie is the soundtrack from Nine Inch Nails and from Trent Reznor. Fair play to him, he's a good artist, but again, compare this soundtrack to Legacy. There is no emotional undercurrent to it at all. It's bouncy, it's poppy, it really gets you going. Don't get me wrong, I think the music bumps this film up a lot more. You take this music out of this film and the film is a lot worse. But Legacy soundtrack, there's an emotional undercurrent, and there's conflicting ideas and moments and movements throughout that score. Adagio for Tron is probably one of the most standout musical moments in Tron Legacy, and there's nothing really here that stands out in terms of the score. The score overall is very good, but in singular moments, it does nothing. It does nothing. It doesn't elevate anything beyond what is already there. It's a shame. It's a really big shame. And I think that is less about the music and more about the actual film overall. The rest of the film drags everything fucking down, completely drags it down. We have a flimsy cameo from Jeff Bridges that amounts to nothing. He just seems to be this ethereal Jesus figure at this point. And then we have Mr. Cult of no personality himself, Jared Leto, just fucking standing there like a door. Just get out of the fucking way, will you? For goodness sake, you're taking up space. It's such a damn shame, because I think the franchise, as it is, has to be dead at this point. I've not been immune to the news about this film. I've not been immune to the reviews about this film. I've seen that this film is a flop, and for that reason, Tron, in terms of cinematic releases, has to be dead in the water. Legacy was a mild success. It made, what, $400 million on a $170 million budget or something like that. So it made, a very small profit, if that. But it amounted to nothing else. And unfortunately, this film is a lot worse. I believe this film is going to end up being a loss. And it's yet another loss for Disney. And it begs the question, what are they doing with their licenses? What are they doing with their intellectual properties? Are they just thrashing shit out because they have to? Probably, yeah. Like I said, they've built roller coasters at Disney and Disney World, to try and drum up interest in the franchise, and it sadly isn't there. Hasbro have released a HasLab crowdfunding campaign for some original figures from the original Tron movie. At the moment, that seems to be dead in the water as well. It's not going anywhere. And couple this with the fact that it's called Tron Ares. If you can find a reference to Tron anywhere in this fucking movie, beyond some mild references, I'll give you a fucking prize.
Please! God damn it!
Because he's, in Legacy, he was Rinsley, who was the bad guy, who was converted to do evil things. And at the end of the movie, he remembers who he is, that he fights for the user, so he turns and sacrifices himself. The door was open for a return of Tron to be this resounding hero, who would be alongside Flynn or Sam or whatever it would be in this movie, and it never comes to pass. We just have Jared Leto and his goon squad fucking mincing about, really, and it really irks me, and I am very irked by this movie. I hate it. I hate it. I hate what this transpires to be. Tron's just going to probably being a TV show at this point. But even then, I can't be arsed. I just don't want it. I don't want it. God, stop fucking destroying franchises and properties and legacy properties at that. The original Tron meant so much. It was a cult movie. Again, it wasn't a resounding success, but it was a cult movie and an important movie because of what it did for computer-generated images, what it did for creating digital models. It did so much behind the scenes. This won't do anything besides behind the scenes except for bury the franchise, for burying the property, and for burying any potential hope that these stories had. And what a fucking shame it is. Good God. I'm going to end this review there, because I don't really want to talk about anything else in any greater detail about the plot points or anything like that, because it's thoroughly unimportant. It's really unimportant. This will be a movie that's forgotten in a couple of months. It will land on Disney Plus. They'll hail it as being the #1 movie on Disney Plus for a time. But they won't tell us how many people are fucking watching it, will they? No, it'll just simmer into the darkness, into the ether, to eventually be deleted for all time and de-resed from existence. Dreadful. A disaster. A mistake. Tron Ares. I cannot recommend it in any way, shape or form. I wasted my time when I was released early from work. Fuck you, movie. Goodbye. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What you think of Tron Ares. I can't even get it out of my mouth. It's there. Let me know what your thoughts are on Tron Ares. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this one. Bye bye.